difficulties, which I appear to still be having some, mainly in regards to YouTube. It says I am connected, but for some reason it is not saying I am connecting properly, and I'm not sure as to why that is. So we will just continue on, and hopefully it kind of just resolves its own issues to some degree. If you haven't been on before, basically this is just me rambling into the camera for about 10 minutes roughly, just talking about my day and talking about what I hopefully have planned for today, and just talking basically. And if you throw things into the chat, I try to reply to them there as well. You can also, just to clear up some housekeeping things, you can support me through my Patreon page, which I have thrown up into the chat as well, so you can take a look there, or you can support me through Streamlabs donations as well, which are also in there. And you can check out my website, which I've also provided the link to. So now that some of the housekeeping is a little bit out of the way, well, in Canada, we'll just talk about a little bit of that. We have, today's our last day of our long weekend, which, if just like I can't remember what Primus song it was, but it, basically some of the lyrics were, weekends don't mean quite so much, except you get to hang out with your working friends. So anyone who right now is not employed, I feel for you. I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm in that same boat, and I do get to hang out with my friends on the weekends that are still working right at the moment. Some of them aren't, and hopefully for them it's also just a temporary setback due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So hopefully they're starting to get back to work here shortly as well, because that would be pretty fantastic for them. May long weekend in BC usually ends up resulting in a fair amount of rain. Luckily, Saturday was the first time. Actually, we had some rain, but not a whole lot, which was great. A friend had invited me out to a barbecue, so went out and did that, which also had a little bit of a fire pit afterwards, which was kind of nice. So we just kind of all sat about 2 meters away from each other around this fire pit, or roughly thereabouts. And there wasn't a lot of us either. There was maybe about 6 of us in total, so I think that's the limit. And then the kids went and played and did their thing, which I have to really give a big shout out to my oldest son, Aid Man, which you can also follow him on social media, which is Aid Weasel, which I will throw into the chats there as well. He's doing like video game streaming. He does a few things over Twitter and Instagram as well, which is where you can kind of find his stuff. Very huge help over the weekend as well. We had a fewer younger kids who needed to be minded a little bit more, and they wanted to be able to play around the property. So he made sure he just kind of kept an eye on them and played with them, and just kind of did his thing. Like, he just stepped up and was the big kid, the leader of the group, and made sure everyone followed the rules and didn't get into trouble, and made sure that they were safe and secure. Super, super big help. Just so proud of him. He was such an amazing person for Saturday night, and all the adults that were there were really quite impressed with him as well. And then my youngest son, Mr. J, one of the people that we were there with, used to work with autistic children as well in a group setting, and she just took to him. She just absolutely thought he was the sweetest little guy on the planet. Helped him with kind of kept him under control, trying to throw things into the fire. So she helped him with that, with putting like little logs onto the fire with him, which he kind of just wanted to chuck because the fire's hot. He knows the fire's hot. He doesn't want to get too close, so he's just trying to put the log on it, not get too close. So she would hold on to it while he kind of chucked it, and then she would place it in gently for him. And then for the paper, then she would help him throw the paper into the fire as well, which was pretty awesome as well. She really stepped up and really helped him out quite a bit. I'm just really appreciative of that. Everyone there was really quite supportive of him, and really took to the idea that he was going to be just kind of around us, and wasn't going to be causing any problems. He was just this really sweet little boy, and just wanted to kind of hang out with everybody, and splashed in the puddle. I think he emptied the entire puddle that was there into his shoes, which are So that was Saturday. They're still soaking wet. We had them basically in the fire for about an hour, and they were still just drenched. He couldn't even wear them home, unfortunately. So got him into the car, got the heat turned up a little bit to keep him warm, got him home and into a nice warm bed. And to that, he also slept all night after all that fresh air and playing as well. So really quite happy there. It was a good night. It was a lot of fun that night. So I can't wait to hang out with them and do more stuff as things start opening up and we're able to socialize a lot more. So yeah, really looking forward to it. It was a good time. So oh, that's good. So I discovered a while back with my coffee that putting a little bit of cinnamon into it seems to really doesn't change the flavor a whole lot, but it does kind of sweeten it up in a certain way that isn't overpowering. And it apparently cinnamon has a lot of health benefits as well. So figured why the heck not? Let's throw some cinnamon into that guy and we'll see how it is. And I'm using my big coffee cup again, which is awesome because this way I don't have to keep pouring it out of my French press at the moment. But I think my coffee maker itself is actually having some issues because it was done dripping and then I turned the lever to keep it so it wouldn't drip anymore. And then I pulled the coffee cup out and then it just started pouring out again. So I gotta try and clean it or tighten up the spring or something for it. But it's neither here nor there. One thing I've definitely noticed since not having a set schedule for things is I'm definitely leaving things out. And like I'm not sure where my days, like yesterday specifically, I don't know where it went. I had things I wanted to get done. I did get a few things done, but I'm obviously needing actually a lot more structure. So I'm going to start trying to plan my days out a lot better than what I have been. I'm going to try and put more of a schedule together for myself starting today, right after this. I got a couple things I'm going to do for reading wise, and then I'm going to work on trying to get my self scheduled out better so I can kind of control my days a little bit more. Basically had a couple weeks now where I've just been willy-nilly and just kind of doing what I wanted, which hasn't resulted in a whole lot. I've gone for a bike ride, but then the weather hasn't been super great. I've been able to sleep in. I've gotten the lawn mowed. I've gotten the yard cleaned up a little bit. I wanted to get the trampoline up this weekend, but with all the rain, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm supposed to help my mom out over the weekend for my stepdad for when he's coming home in a couple weeks. Since he's recovering quite nicely from the stroke he had about a month and a half ago. About a month and a half ago now? Somewhere close to there. Just over a month ago anyway. So he's supposed to be coming home in a little while, and we want to make sure everything is set where he's able to get over things and buy things a lot quicker and easier and able to help himself around the house a bit more. Even though I will be around to try and help him out more also, we just wanted to make sure that he has some ability to pull himself up and get himself moving about. So that's kind of what the plan was, especially for in the backyard. If he wanted to go out there and just kind of sit in the backyard, he wouldn't trip as easily over things. But unfortunately, we just didn't get a chance because we didn't really want to work in the mud too much. So we didn't bother this time around, but we will hopefully during the week be able to do some of that work that needs to get done. But speaking of as well, I'm also not completely useless, which is nice, especially when it comes to vehicles. I'm not a vehicle person. I'm not much of a mechanical-minded person in that kind of regard, but I needed to go help with a flat tire, and I was able to actually do so, which made me feel not like a useless human being at this point, which is a nice change. The last little bit I haven't been feeling quite as useful, so this was kind of a nice change of events to be able to feel useful. I know I am useful and I can do different things. It's just the last little bit is not. I guess it's probably because I don't have a schedule set up for myself that I feel that way. But now that I'm going to be able to get a schedule put in for myself and try to figure it out a lot better, I will. I'll start feeling a lot more useful and a lot better as well. So it's always just kind of trying to find the positive on the things, right? So I know this format is probably a little bit boring. I'm going to try and figure out a way also for this over the next while to try and spruce it up a little bit. Spruce up the way it looks, maybe try and figure out a way of getting the chat into the camera view here as well. I have tried a couple of times before to run a couple of programs to make it so I'm running it, but I don't think, unfortunately, my computer's just not quite strong enough to be able to hold that field. So I'm just having to figure out some other ways of possibly doing this. So as the next couple of weeks, I might run this particular format over Get Vocal to everywhere else, and then I might change it up after that. I have not quite decided, but I think that might be a route I may end up going. So what I may end up doing, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I feel so smart all of a sudden because I can do it that way. Hmm. Interesting. Sorry, I just came up with a really kind of a fun idea because technically I have two cameras I can be using for all of this right at the moment. I have the webcam that's built directly into my laptop, and then I have the camera that I'm using right now. And I could probably be able to use both of them. One for the Get Vocal side, which will also go to the Facebook side. And then I could use like Streamlabs or OBS to do the rest of it. Or even just, yeah, or even just Restream itself. Oh my goodness, I feel so much smarter all of a sudden. That's fantastic. I just came up with a great idea that I could probably use the computer resources that I do have to make this all work at the same time off the one laptop, which would be pretty ideal. That would be pretty awesome. So, yeah. So I feel like I'm gaining some ground there as well, and different ways I can make my streams work out a little bit better and have some fun with it, basically. But anywho, speaking of schedules, I am hitting the 12-minute mark now. So it'll probably end up looking at, maybe we'll talk a little bit longer here with some people and we'll see what's going on. So, but yeah, it looks like again today we're in for quite a bit of rain again. So probably won't be getting out and doing as much, but that's okay because I got things inside that need to get done as far as building a contact list, working on some other things for forums for people to be able to contact me through here as well for if they want to get some other stuff taken care of, perhaps. And then just kind of hang out with the kids. We're trying to do some fun little things as well. Yesterday we yesterday we built some birdhouses. We just got to finish up and paint those, so that will be a lot of fun as well. Oh, from Italy, that's pretty cool. How are things in Italy right now? Some advice on learning English. Definitely take lessons. Yeah, I would say get some lessons on learning English. There's probably plenty of people around who can probably help you with it. I know there's some online places as well. Just because English, I know people say like a lot of Asian languages are really hard because mainly because of all the characters that are available to read and understand. But English has so many nuances and so many words that sound the same and already look the same, that it's a really challenging language. Even people who have grown up with English still stumble over English. It's such a weird language. Um, like honestly, even I stumble over it. So another way that actually watching videos is perfect as well, because that will help you understand English a lot more, from at least North American English a lot more. one other thing that I would probably recommend is if you're able to, on the learning the English side here as well. For those of you who aren't aware, I'm actually answering questions in chat session right now over on Restream and Twitch. Is from what I've understood, is immersion in the language. So if you're able to go to a country for a bit that speaks that language, then that is a great way of learning it, and not hanging out with people who speak your same language, but actually finding people that speak English, as this nice Italian gentleman here is talking about as well. Yeah, no, I know, but I like trying to fill in just in case people are trying to read it as well, in case they don't understand verbally what I'm saying. They can actually read it as well. So, and that way they can come back to it and see it. So I try to do both, just to try and help everybody out. Just because in this way I can try and also learn to try and type and talk at the same time, which I'm not always super good at either. Just another skill set that I'm trying to build up. A little bit of multitasking, I guess. Anyway, though, I do have to get running. I have a couple things to do before my kids get up, so I can make breakfast this morning. Bacon and eggs, yo, all the way. So I look forward to talking to you all later. If you like what you're seeing, you can always subscribe to all my different channels, which if you're on Twitch, you can subscribe to me on Twitch or DLive, Mixer, Mob Crush. If you can find me on YouTube, you can also find me there. I actually have to find a way of starting to be able to put this stuff out a lot better. So we will see how that all kind of plays out. And thank you for the follow, Raxor. I really appreciate it. 3:25 p.m. in Italy, eh? Wow. So I'm hoping you have a great afternoon. I don't know how Italy does anything with afternoon stuff, but if it's tea time for you, fantastic. I look forward to chatting with you some more, Raxar. Have a great one. I hope you all have a great day or afternoon in the case of over Raxor 005 in Italy there, and evening if you are later in the day. Or if you're waking up to this, I hope you're having a great morning, a great start to your day, or if you're just heading to bed, have some sweet dreams. I will, Raxor. Thank you. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you some more and chatting with you some more, buddy. All right, everyone. I will chat with you all later. If you want, you can also hit me up on different social media as well, which I will provide you with the place that you can find, or the handle you can find me, which is at eldorado.com or at eldorado on every other social media. So that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the different streaming channels as well. The only one that's different is YouTube, but I'm not going to put that one in there just because I'm not sure what my handle there actually is to find me. I'm still trying to find it. So, but anyway, on that note, I hope you all have a great day, and I look forward to chatting with you all some more. All right, have a good one. Adios. Talk to you later. Bye.